Hey guys, it's Sam with the Film Fan Club, and it's that time of the year again. It's the beginning of September and the end of August, which means it's the end of the summer movie season. I know, school's back in session, we gotta get ready to do other responsibilities and all that. That sucks. But we can reflect now on the best and worst movies of summer 2016. A lot of people have been saying it's been a pretty lackluster summer, with people like Christian Harloff of Collider saying it actually stoinked. I wouldn't go that far, which is why I'll start off with the best movies. Now, before I get into it, I'll give you a list so that way you can't be like, why'd you leave this movie off? Or why did you not see this movie? Here's all the movies I saw between May and the end of August. Alrighty, with that out of the way, you now know what I've seen and what I have to choose from. And now I'll start off again with a movie that didn't actually come out in this summer movie season. It's just a quick shout out, a quick honorable mention, I guess, if you will. It's The Jungle Book. This movie came out in the middle of April, so it didn't quite make the summer movie season. It was a kind of precursor. Which is why you won't see Batman vs Superman in the worst of the summer list either. But no, the Jungle Book was just a really fun surprise. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I knew it was gonna be like 90% CGI, so I was like, how is a movie even gonna be pulled off like that? And they did pull it off. The child actor who played Mowgli was fantastic. All the voice actors were really fun. I think it just came out on Blu-ray too, so if you haven't seen The Jungle Book yet, go see it. It's a really fun time, which is why it's an honorable mention. Now let's get into the actual meat of what I like, the best movies of summer 2016. Number 5, the Lobster. This is an original movie. Lots of original movies on the best of the summer list. This starred Colin Farrell, Rachel Weisz. It was just a kind of original film about dystopian future where if you can't find someone to mate with, you get turned into an animal. It was just such a weird, zany concept with and the characters. They had a specific kind of dullness that they were going for to kind of make this world believable in the way that it is. It really works, and all the actors really fit into that really well. I had a lot of fun with it. Maybe fun's not the right word, but I really liked it and I appreciated it for what it was. Maybe you will too. It's not for everybody, but I really liked The Lobster enough to make it number 5 on my best of the summer list. Coming in at number 4, Kubo and the Two Strings. This one, I actually just saw it this past week. The review came up just like yesterday, so check it out if you haven't yet. But I had such a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining why, because the review just came up. So it's a lot of fun. The animation was cool. It's original. I like the characters, the story. Great time. This is a great family film that'll hit you in the feels, too. So go see Kubo and the Two Strings if you haven't yet. The Nice Guys is number 3. Number 3, The Nice Guys. This one had Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, and I had never seen these guys like this before. They were kind of some zany detectives, kind of hunting down this girl who's on the run. Directed by Shane Black, set in 1977 Los Angeles. I love period pieces like that. It was really fun to see these two guys team up and go on this adventure together. I didn't know what to expect from it. I walked in having a great time. This is one you can definitely have a ton of fun with. It's more of a kind of, not as much of a family film as the other, as Kubo, but it's still a greit time nonetheless. It's number 3 on my best of the summer list, and I think a lot of people will agree it's one of the best of the summer, so check it out if you haven't yet. It's The Nice Guys. Coming into number 2, this movie almost made my top best of the summer. This was almost number 1. It's Green Room, stars, rest in peace, Anton Yelchin, and is just really unfortunate because this guy shows off. He was a really up-and-coming actor. He was making some of the best stuff out there. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to put Star Trek Beyond on my list. Oh man, I don't know if Star Trek Beyond would have made the top 5, but that's another honorable mention. Star Trek Beyond was really good, so check that out if you haven't yet. But also, if you really want to see a great, because more so a great testament to how good of an actor Anton Yelchin is, Green Room. And Patrick Stewart is dark in this movie. He's really good, so you should definitely see Green Room. It's actually number 2 on my best of the year list, and coming in at number 1, you probably can guess it at this point. It's Captain America: Civil War. What do I need to say? We closed out Phase 1 of the Film Fan Club show show with this movie. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. It's a great summer blockbuster, the epitome of the summer blockbuster. It's a great example of comic book filmmaking today. There's not a lot more that can be said about it. I loved Captain America Civil War. A lot of people are going to give me crap for the other films that are on the worst, and that Captain America Civil War is my favorite, but sue me. I liked this movie a lot. They did a lot of stuff right. I think I've gone into why a lot, so if you want any more explanation as to why I like this movie over some other movies that may or may not be on the worst of the summer list, just actually watch the reviews, watch all my reviews before you can argue with me, and I don't know why I'm defending it. Captain America Civil War is a great movie. Let's move on. Worst of the summer list. Now, I'm going to give a quick shout out to some other movies. I didn't get a chance to see Independence Day Resurgence, and I didn't get a chance to see Alice Through the Looking Glass. Those two movies were not really the best ones, but I'm going to go ahead and just give them as a dishonorable mention, kind of, because they were so bad that I had to avoid them. I didn't even want to touch them, but they were. I imagine if I did, they probably could have been good, strong contenders for the list, so they're dishonorable mentions so far. Now, coming in at number 5, worst of the summer, is a movie that's so bad it's good. I gotta say, it's kind of a cheat. 9 Lives. Kevin Spacey, what are you doing, man? I get not everybody is like me. Not everybody's gonna appreciate the so bad it's good, not unintentionally funny kind of family film that is like the destruction of your career. I don't think everybody's gonna appreciate it as much as I do. My review's up right now. Check it out. I had a great time with it, but man, this is not a great example of filmmaking. It's not a great example of a good film in general. It's 9 Lives. Kevin Spacey is a cat, man. But if you're into that, go check it out. It's so bad it's good, which is why it's not really at the top of the list, but it's in the best. It's in the worst of the summer, regardless. So let's move on to the ones I actually have tickets for right here. Ticket stubs. Number 4, worst of the summer, is The Legend of Tarzan. This movie was just boring. This movie didn't really offer anything new to the Tarzan lore, even though I thought it would. Samuel L. Jackson he was good in the film, didn't fit with what the film was going for. The guy who played Tarzan, Alexander Skarsgård, was bland. Margot Robbie was bland. She's good because she's Margot Robbie, but man, as far as like them giving her something to work with, it wasn't there. Christoph Waltz was wasted. I was a lot more easier on the film than I should have been probably in the review, but I gave it like a 5 out of 10 because it's just such a blah thing that that's how I felt about it. Blah. Moving on, number 3 worst of the summer is X-Men Apocalypse. This is coming from the director of X-Men, X2, X-Men Days of Future Past. Some of the 3 best comic book movies I think there are out there, or at least that I've seen. And then he gives us this. It's like, man, you had everything going for you, and then it's just sometimes if a director stays on a property too long, eventually they just kind of all the good is they've just been pumped out of him. So he's like, I need to take a step back. I'm glad he's doing that. He's working on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something. Hopefully when he does return to X-Men, we get a more worthwhile entry, because X-Men Apocalypse, it just had a lot more bad than good to it. It had some of the characters I like, but it had a lot of them doing stupid stuff, and a lot of the comic book movies of this year have had this problem too. It's just I don't really care about it. It's not something I want to see these characters doing, and it was a letdown. X-Men Apocalypse was definitely a letdown, which is why it's number 3 worst of the summer. Now let's go on to number 2. Number 2 worst of the summer. This is actually some of these were really anticipated for me. I was really looking forward to this one as well. It's an original film, Matthew McConaughey, The Free State of Jones. This is him. It's like a Civil War movie. It's he's a deserter because he did on the South side. He doesn't believe in the Confederate cause. Like a reasonable person. And then leaves them, abandons them. This movie didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't know if it wanted to be like a procedural court drama, or if it wanted to be a revolutionary Braveheart type of thing. So it tried to do too much, and it became boring. Honestly, it was disjointed, boring. My Papa Larry liked it a lot more than I did, so I'll give it that. But Free State of Jones, yeah, it was a letdown as well. So I'm going to give that number 2 worst of the summer. And what was the worst movie of the summer? Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was the worst movie of the summer. I'm sorry. It had a lot of good stuff going for it, but there's just a lot of decisions. It's like, come on, how do you mess that up? How do you do the Joker so weirdly? And come on. The movie was a mess. I've gone into it at length. I actually spent like 40 minutes talking about it in my spoiler cast, so check that out if you haven't yet. But man, I was really let down with a lot of the movies this summer. But there were a lot of ones that just hit me by surprise. So I think it's gonna go. I think it goes to say, go see more original film if you don't already. See as much original film as you can, because you never know what you're gonna expect. And go back to the well of the old original movies that have been out there for before. Because I recently started doing these throwback reviews. Saw Citizen Kane. That movie's amazing. So even whenever there's not the best movies currently in theaters, there's a lot of great movies out there. You just got to go find them, and a lot of original concepts are just really worth pursuing. And give it time, like the ones that I mentioned: The Nice Guys, Kubo and the Two Strings, Green Room, War Dogs is another good one. Honorable mention. Go check out those. That's not as original, but it's not a big franchise. So just go check out some of these. Take a chance on some of these smaller movies. It may pay off, as it has for me this past summer. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. So I'm Sam Carrico. Those are my best and worst movies of the summer. Just again to wrap it up, coming in at number 5 for the best of the summer was The Lobster. Coming in at number 4 was Kubo and the Two Strings. Coming in at number 3 was The Nice Guys. Number 2, Green Room. Number 1, Captain America: Civil War. On the worst of the summer, it was number 5, 9 Lives. Number 4, it was Legend of Tarzan. Number 3 was X-Men Apocalypse. Number 2, Free State of Jones. And the worst movie of the summer, if you ask me, was Suicide Squad. That's my review, or excuse me, that's my list, and I'm sticking to it. If I haven't pissed you off too much, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, The Film Fan Club, just youtube.com/thefilmfanclub, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter for more, @Samuel D. Carrico. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.